Hey, I'm Jacob Nordby. I'm one of the founders of this site, Heal Plus Create, and I'm so happy to spend time with my writing community partner, Lauren Sapala, today. Lauren, how are you?
I am great. I'm so glad to be here, Jacob.
Yeah, me too. Lauren and I have worked as writing teaching partners over the years, and about a year ago, we decided it was time to bring all of this together in a special community where writers can be supported, where writers can begin to accomplish the things that are dear to their hearts, and with some sort of special attributes of the community itself. And Lauren, you really have carried that vision and the spirit of this for so long. Me too, but you really know how to articulate that. I wonder if you would just talk to everyone who's just hitting this site, visiting for the first time and saying, is this for me? In just a minute, we'll talk about some bullet points, but what would you say the spirit of this community and what's in our heart for people who want to join this?
Well, I love that, we had for our first call out for people, we said calling all writers, crossed out most writers,
Yeah.
or those who want to be. This is not for every writer. This is for a very certain type of writer that I think doesn't really get the care or the attention they need from the mainstream writing community. And that's highly sensitive people, highly intuitive people, people who identify as introverts or empaths, people who are a little bit outside of the box, who have felt maybe a little bit weird or a little bit different, a little bit of out of step with mainstream society for most of their lives, but who know they have a deep calling inside to write, even if they don't yet know what that really might look like at the end of the road. I think so often in the writing community today, there's this pressure to know, well, do you want to write a memoir? Are you a novelist? What are you? And a lot of writers don't yet know, and that's completely okay. And this is a community for you to show up and not know what you are, but know that you need something. That's
Yeah.
what we're doing here. That's how I would put it into words.
God, it's almost like you rehearsed that. I know you didn't. Yeah, I love to be able to answer three questions very quickly for people who are just showing up and saying, is this for me? What is this thing? So I like to answer, what is this? Why should I care? And if I'm interested, what do you want me to do next? And so, what is this? Well, this is a writing community, and it involves. We'll show you in just a few minutes. We'll actually show you the screen so you can see kind of the inside of the community itself. But it involves an online platform that has a social aspect to it inside of our own place. It's not on Facebook or somewhere else. It also involves a content calendar. Every month, Lauren provides a workshop. I provide a workshop. We bring in special guests. And then um, we also have something Lauren pioneered called the silent writing groups. And I'd love for you to tell us about that, Lauren, because you did that so many years ago and have done it over the years. And our membership right now is they're just getting so much done inside of that.
Well, the silent writing groups, they're super simple and they're magical. They're so simple that I feel like if you've never done one, I've had a lot of writers say, like, I don't get this. We just show up and write together silently for 1 hour. Like, why does that work? I don't know why it works, but it works. And I can attest that it works because I've been doing it, gosh, for 16 years now. Silent writing is how I have written all of my books. I have 5 published books. I wrote them all in silent writing groups. It's just like what it sounds. You show up on Zoom, you can have your camera on or off. Everyone's microphone is off. It's very introvert friendly. I open up with a short guided meditation or visualization, and then we write together for 1 hour. That's it. We don't share, we don't critique, there's no judgment, there's no pressure, there's no expectation. You can write whatever you want. I don't do writing prompts. People are welcome to bring their own writing prompts, but it's a safe space of 1 hour. I know so many writers are focused on word count and being productive through word count. And I always say, word count doesn't work. It's this false goal that you're holding yourself to. Sometimes you're going to go over it and sometimes you're going to go under it, and there's no shame in either. Instead, we focus on the time. We focus on you making the commitment of time to your writing. So maybe you write 200 words in that hour, maybe you write 2,000, but you spent an hour, and that's what really counts. And that's what silent writing is all about. It's making a commitment to your writing life. It is carving out that time that so many writers don't give themselves, or they find it impossible to give to themselves amidst the demands of a hectic life, which we all have.
Yeah. God, I love that session. I also host a session a month because we have people from around the world in the community, and we realize that it's difficult for some people to be there, depending on time zones and things. And Lauren, I actually began drafting on a sort of parable children's book, which I've never written before, in our last silent writing session. And I could not believe how productive I was during that time. It was so exciting. And that's me. I watched the other members, as they were there and they were working on things that were important to them, and everybody just reported at the end, they said, I don't want to go away now. I'm so excited I'm actually writing, not just thinking about it or talking about it.
Oh, I hear that all the time from the silent writing sessions. That's the number one response, is astonishment.
Yeah.
People come in and they say, I plan to work on one thing, and then something completely unexpected happened. Or I didn't at all know what I was going to write. I thought I was going to do stream of consciousness. And then, like you said, I started drafting a children's book, or I started on an essay collection. There's always this element of surprise. And I think it's the group energy.
Yeah.
Writing with other people, it's way different than writing on your own. That group energy supports you. So when you get stuck, there's a little bit of momentum and energy to help you keep going, to keep you in the space instead of just giving up.
Yeah, I love that. And under the heading of why should I care? Um, I just have this feeling in my life, if I want to learn or gain a different level of mastery or start learning about something at all, I want to go find a guide or guides who have done it before. So I don't go to the gym and find somebody who clearly is out of shape and really doesn't do much fitness and hire that trainer. I go looking for somebody who really knows what they're talking about and who knows how to match what they're going to develop for me as a program, for me. And so I love that you just pointed out, Lauren, that you've published 5 books. I've published 3 and am part of several other curated books. And I was also part of the publishing industry, traditional and non-traditional. And I know you've published quite a few of your books as indie. Is that right?
That's right. All of my books.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that experience because so many people feel stuck. I can't get my book done or whatever it is, the project done, because I feel like it'll never get published. And we have so many tools and ways of helping guide you through that process from our own experience,
Oh yeah, and that's part of it is, I have experience as a successful writer, but I also have a lot of experience as a struggling writer. I was locked inside my own head for years, or I was a procrastinator and I was a perfectionist. So I've been there, and I've been in the labyrinth of publishing options and choices and not known which way to go. So a lot of the knowledge I have, it's based on my own really hard experience of just trial and error.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have a calling to be a writer, and whether you've, as some people in our membership community right now, have already written and published books, or you just know there's something in there, you're not sure what, as Lauren said earlier, that's what we're about here, is helping you discover, helping you connect to what's important, and then help you get over those stumbling blocks, the speed bumps that have always slowed you down or stopped you before, because we hold in our heart that you deserve to create the things that matter to you.
Oh yeah, and that's part of it too, is there's so much focus on in other programs on what to do to be successful on the outside. And of course, we all want to be successful on the outside. I get that. Everybody has different writing goals, whether that's to publish or make income from it, whatever it is. But this program is focused on not only, how to be successful on the outside, but what's calling you from the inside.
Right.
What's calling you from the deepest level of you? What are the things you want to accomplish for you before you leave this earth? Those are the big, deep questions. And those have to be addressed before you can even think about success on the outside.
One thing that you really do such a good job of, Lauren, in our membership and in your own work outside of that, is you have learned and know how to guide people through some of the deep-rooted, like, traumatic experiences that have created the avoidance and the procrastination. And I love that. You want to talk about that briefly?
I would love to. This is my wheelhouse. This is what I get really excited about, because like I said, I was a struggling writer for so many years. I just thought something was wrong with me. I just thought I was not cut out to be a writer, and it caused me so much pain and suffering. So when I discovered that actually wasn't the problem, That is my calling in life, is to bring that information to other writers, because so many writers think, well, I'm just lazy, I'm not motivated, I don't have the discipline, I need to be held accountable. And that's not what's going on. That's not why the avoidance is happening and the procrastination. What's going on is wounds around self-expression, wounds that come from childhood conditioning or relationships since then. But somewhere along the way, you were imprinted with the programming that it is not safe to self-express, whether that was because that was a survival mechanism in an abusive home, or you went through that relationship later on and you were punished within that relationship for self-expressing. But those wounds run deep and they can't be overlooked and they can't be erased. You can't wave a magic wand over them. And that's really what our community is focused on, is healing wounds around self-expression, which so many people don't even know that's what they have, or that's why they have severe procrastination, severe perfectionism, severe fear around the writing process. And that's really what we're dealing with in this program.
Yeah, yes, all of the above. And, my most recent book, The Creative Cure, starts with the principle that everyone has an inner creative self, and it's what you were born with. And part of our practices here help you not just accomplish something as a writer, but it helps you reconnect with your truly innate, essential, and very unique creative self, so that you begin to notice that it has effects outside of your writing work. It has effects in your actual life, where you just begin to notice that, oh, I feel like I can accomplish things and enjoy things that aren't even involved, that don't even involve writing. And so that to me is very close to my heart. I love working with Lauren because she has such deep understanding about, where those hindrances, where that connection got broken or frayed. I would love to show people inside the community just for a minute. Lauren, are you okay with that?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So let me just share the screen and let's find the right one here. Okay, so once you've logged in, once you become a member, you have this dashboard, and all of this brings you to where you can find, these workshops we talked about. Lauren's next one's coming up. Silent writing. We do open mic and poetry work, so people can actually be seen and heard. But also we have some really cool courses already, and we're going to be adding more very soon. But these are Lauren's: intuitive writing, joyful writing. You are a writer, and then this meditations course, which helps people enter the brainwave state, enter the space inside where they become more and more open to it. One thing I really love, though, Lauren, is that, this is it is a social network. So you actually have a profile and you can complete it as much or as little as you want. But then we have groups that you can get into and begin to enjoy communicating with, asking questions of, and actually connecting with other members in our community. And so as you can see here, you can post things, you can ask questions, you have conversations about how do you do this? How do you do that? There's a lot more about that. And we could talk for hours because it's really so exciting what's happening here, Lauren. But what do we want someone who knows that this is calling their name? What should they do next?
So definitely look into it next, but also know that it's a community. So you are going to be moving a little bit outside of your comfort zone. It's a community of a lot of introverted people, a lot of highly sensitive people, a lot of really heart-centered, lovely, empathetic people. And, we had a big community roundtable a few weeks ago, and every single person there was so loving and so willing to show up and listen and so interested in everyone else's story. That's the kind of place this is. If you're looking for more of a hard-nosed logical approach, I want to be really productive and I want people to call me on it, this is probably not for you. This is a soft place to land kind of community. So that's the next step. Really look at our registration page, look at everything that's offered, see if that's a fit for you, but also ask yourself, am I looking for a soft place to land? Am I okay with being gently moved out of my comfort zone, baby step by baby step? That's the kind of community this is.
Yeah, I love that. And sometimes people would there's some voice inside there in the left brain going, this isn't going to be hard enough. You won't actually get it done. And Lauren, I have seen actual miracles or real magic happen with people who felt so stymied. And I'm talking about stymied for decades in some cases. I know you have too. Watching them after a few months or a year of being involved, and they're saying, I can't believe this. I can't believe it was so gentle. And I've gotten some of the most important things to me actually done. And to me, that kind of win, I enjoy that victory probably almost as much as they do. I'm often in tears. I just can't believe how powerful the experience of being gently, like, you don't need your creative ass kicked. What you need is to be led around the things that have kept you from getting into it. And that's what we do here.
And that's the secret key. So many other writing programs, like you said, it's like, I'm going to get my butt kicked by this. And it's fighting the resistance. There's resistance in place, and then people are trying to fight it or conquer it or attack it. And that cements another layer of resistance over the resistance. In this community, we're not fighting resistance, we're dissolving resistance.
Yes.
That's a big difference. Dissolving the resistance actually works because it dissolves it at the roots.
Yeah. Yeah, we really believe in self-discovery. Like, who am I? Who am I as a writer? Who am I as a person? Those things you can't separate them. We don't believe in you have a writing life for the rest of your life. We want to lead you into this sense of, I am a writer, I'm a creative being, I deserve to create the life that matters to me. And I just want to say too, Lauren, that the pricing that we have to be part of this membership, like, this is really introductory. And as this community fleshes out even more than it is now, and the offerings we're able to bring to you, the price will go up, because people are kind of astonished. Like, I can't believe it's actually this low for the level of attention, the amount of work that we get to do together in the workshops and the silent writing things. So I just want to say that if this is calling your name, this isn't a scarcity thing. This isn't, tomorrow it's going to go up. But I just want you to know, right now is kind of that nascent stage of our community as it's really beginning to grow and the foundation's becoming very solid. So if this is calling your name, I would encourage you to get in now, because it's definitely affordable.
Well, I always say too, sometimes there's an open door.
Yeah.
Sometimes an open door shows up in your life, and the doors don't stay open forever.
Yeah.
And I myself have sat on the fence for too long and then seen a door close and said, oh, why? I saw it was open. Why didn't I just walk through? Because I was scared. Don't do that. Don't make that mistake, because when you walk through those open doors, even if you don't quite know what to expect, you don't quite know how it's going to unfold, when the universe brings you an open door, that open door is there for a reason. Even if you don't feel like it, you are ready. The door will not be open if you're not ready. So if that door is open for you, if you're feeling that call inside, that yes, you are ready. Your soul is ready.
I kind of think that's a good place to stop. You and I, we've been friends for years, and we could just talk and talk and talk. And we're both so enthusiastic about this. But as you scroll down this page, you might have questions. There's a place on the page where you can actually submit questions to us through a form, and we'll respond in case you need to know more things before you say yes. If you are being called and it's your time to finally move past those things that have held you back in the past, and you just know you need some guidance and support and connection, we're here for you. We would love to have you as part of our community.
We would love to have you. Please come join us. It's going to be so much fun.
All right. We'll see you soon.